Alright guys, welcome to a special video here, PES 19. This is a video I've been meaning to do. Kind of want to show you guys how I'm working with PES 2019 right now using professional difficulty. But you can use any difficulty, but I use professional. And it's with some slight modifications to the lineup here. Something similar to what I did last couple years with the 5-second fix. If you guys are subscribed to my channel, you'll know what that is. Basically, it's just kind of modifying the positioning just a little bit. This is a little bit different because the 5-second fix isn't as effective. I've got two methods here. One is for the console guys who can't change both the user and CPU. The best you'll play this game is if you use computer and CPU. Both options change, but I have it in the event if you've already started your Master League on a console and you can't change the participation settings and select sides, so that way it's just the user in this case that you would modify. But it's made for some really fantastic gameplay. Let's get into it here. Going through my controls here, I have this pretty much set up fairly basic, but like I said, the main one, through ball type, is advanced. And that's really the biggest thing. I tried manual passing just in general. Man, that is difficult, especially with me using a broadcast style camera. So it's definitely important to to be able to use PA1, but then make it a little challenging with that advanced through ball. Okay, so here by default we're on a 5-3-2 using Nice. Now all we do here, just gonna turn on fluid formations, go to the team sheet, gonna leave the back line alone. All we're going to do here is just drop the midfielders and the forwards to a certain limit. Moving Cyprien here just until his position changes, and then we move him up one. Same with right here, and see just at a certain point, just a little bit closer, just within that line. It's very tight, and then the same over here. Now with the forwards, we can keep them high, but I'd like to move them just a little bit tighter so it's not so stretched out. Secondary striker, yes, plays differently than a center forward, but still, it's a matter of positioning, and you can move them just to a certain point. And there you go. That's it for just the user here. So then what you can do with fluid formations on, you just change the in possession, choose for kickoff, which is what we changed. Go to the out of position and change it for kickoff. That's optional, but I like fluid formations on for that reason. So now it's basically interchangeable all the way through. And the reason I do it this way is because in case I need to move certain players, at least the base change is there. And jumping into the match, like I said, this is on professional. The only other thing I have changed with the controls is I've got advanced through balls on. So holding L2 is really important, so you don't overhit every through ball. But as you can see, it's definitely a challenge. And you'll ask why I like professional difficulty. It's because of things like that. The computer's not as clinical. They're not as, just pass, break you down that way. You definitely see a lot more human type of elements that, everybody wants to see. And I feel like this is the most level playing field that you can find, with still the ratings to stick out. As you can see, it's not going to be easy. The main thing with the lines and what the adjustments does here, because the computer lines haven't changed and the positions haven't changed, they're going to spread me out a little bit more, but my base is there that I'm in front of the ball, and so they have to kind of modify how they're going to attack me. You'll see a lot more variety. It's not going to feel like the same old stretched out play constantly. See, there's just movement, very nice movement with the ball. This is kind of what it was, kind of reinvigorated my love for PES again. And that's why, I started the Master League as well. For those that are subscribed to the channel, you can see just very little things like that, where it's just more about build up right now. It's really important. It's a nice build up here. We're definitely getting worked by Ajax, who are of course the better team. This is a great goal. That's just how it is. And this is on professional difficulty, like I said. To find a challenge there is, pretty exciting for me. And that's really what I wanted to do, because I wanted to play in professional difficulty, but also enough where those of you who are supremely better than I am can still play on your top player and your superstar difficulties. Now we're going to jump into the next part where I can show you what it looks like when both the user and the CPU are changed. So for this one here, 3-4-2-1, like I said, just going to move my midfielders just to the black part there, right? Just a little bit so they're tight enough in here. So you just move. I like to move it with the D-pad so there's no kind of change in diagonal changes or anything like that. It's just kind of north to south, if you will, end line to end line. And so here, yeah, just really tight basically, and try to keep it all in line with each other. And the same thing here. And then we're gonna drop him down here just enough to his position changes and then get out of it. And now we're gonna go onto the computer side. And remember, you can't do this in Master League. So this is just for those of you who want to play Exhibition, or for those of you that want to edit teams, you know, before you've started your Master League, you can definitely do this. I love this because the computer won't change this. Keep it the way it is, they'll use it the whole entire Master League. So here we're just doing the same thing basically. We're dropping them all the way down. Now Tadic, I'm just going to make him until his position changes. So center midfielder all the way to left forward, okay? Left wing forward, right? And then same thing here, Ziyech, there we go. And that's it. That's simple. Now we're going to jump into the match. And you see in the radar just how much tighter it is. And look at those passing lanes kind of being filled. Here, this is, again, professional difficulty. And it just looks better to me. I can't spread out Ajax. Of course I can. They're a lot better team. But still, I have to really know where my next pass is going to be. It's going to be very tight. Looks very similar to how we did when I was working on the 5-second fix. But this is just, to me, kind of forcing it to the max, and I really like it. And see how the computer attacks as well. Now I'm not as spread out as I was before because there's no imbalance, but at the same time it still brings in a little midfield play, right? A little bit more, hey, little chess match. What are they going to do with the ball? There's a bad pass. That was a terrible touch there, and here they're off to the races. You can see in the radar, players are getting into the box. There's almost 5 players, or actually 3 players in the box for Ajax there, with plenty of cover still. Defensive midfielder still drops back. Here we're going to take them on this left-hand side, and nope, sidelines is not as automatic as it usually is, especially on professional difficulty. My passing is terrible for some reason, but at the same time, it's just a tighter midfield. You can see just lovely reset of the play, side to side. Danny Blind trying to set things up, and just, again, that professional difficulty for me is a big part of that because it brings in that human element, that real sense of kind of like you're not playing against a computer. You know, you're playing against maybe a similar player as yourself, but you know, you can change up the rhythm, etc. And see here, just the same thing. Trying to build up again, and here they give me a little bit of space, and again, that's the advanced through ball. Again, that's going to be personal preference, but I think if you're going to play in professional difficulty, it's definitely important because through balls in this game are really OP. They're very easy to do. So I found myself doing a bunch of 1-2s and then through ball, and it's very easy to break down. So because I like the human aspect, and I like that more than just getting, you know, a super unrealistic challenge, I opt to just make it a little bit more difficult for myself for the through ball side of things, which is similar to how I play in FIFA. I play on manual through balls as well. It just makes it just more challenging that way, and more precision needed to make something happen. So I hope this looks good for you guys here. Again, this is just exhibition. For those of you guys that are on console, you'll have to do this in the, you know, in the edit screen before you start your Master League. But I'm telling you, it'll be completely worth it. Makes for such an incredible experience of seeing a proper midfield and very compressed. And I have to give credit to Konami because they've got the base right this year, but there are still some things in where PES 2018 things came out, unfortunately, and that's really what I'm addressing here, because there was a long period of time in which I wasn't playing PES, and now I'm kind of just loving it again every day. And so next thing I'm going to jump into here is what it looks like on the PC. It's with a patch. that ISU Reaper 31 gave me. But there's no gameplay edits or anything, but it is using the same concept. And because it's on the PC, using Juice's Cider executable file, you can change, and this is a brilliant pass, you can change the sides, you can switch the sides in a Master League. So here in a Master League, we go to participant settings again, and now we're just going to switch over to the away team, which is me in this case. We're just going to make the change. This option file uses a 4-3-3. Again, we're not going to make any changes to the back line. Leave them alone. Going to do the same thing. Drop all the way to the point of changing the position. Here, you're going to leave him just a little bit. And I could technically put him on the same level or just a little bit higher, but I kind of want them on the same level. That's just a preference. I would have done either way. And then here, same thing as before, as we showed. And I want to show this enough times so you guys can get that and what that looks like. It's very simple. Like, it takes 10 seconds. And then we get out of that, and then we press OK, and it says anything's going to change at the game plan. Don't worry. Those changes do not change. Okay? They will not be modified. You can see right there. See, they're not changed on the right-hand side, what we just did. If you made any changes to like advanced instructions, defensive instructions, anything like that, it might. But here, this is because we're on the computer, we can make these changes here on being on the PC. This is in the International Cup or Champions Cup or whatever it's called. And so we're not facing against Ajax, we're facing against Milan. But basically we're doing the exact same thing with them. And there we go, that looks just about right. We're gonna move on from there, same thing. And now we're just gonna switch over and start it up. You can see again, in terms of how it looks, there's still a midfield. It's still very, very nice. I love the computer's, variety. There's some direct play. There's some trying to control the ball in tight spaces, trying to move it. They're exporting my wing here for some reason, and I'm just gonna have to commit and make some decisions there when they do that. But here, they're on a little bit of a high press, so I've really got to decide what to do with the ball. And you'll see several times I'm just in tight spaces, just like they are. It's really lovely to see this kind of football played. And look, just a switch of the field. And that's a nice little interchange. Higuain, Rodriguez. Now they're all in the box there, and they can try to find something. But thankfully, I'm just defending it. And see, even though we've got the forwards pretty much up front, they're not completely spread out. That they're way on the other side of the center circle. But it's just enough that there's a creation of a midfield there. In this modern day of football, where it's not all about defense, it's a lot of 4-3-3s, a lot of counterattacks, a lot of transitions, from a 4-3-3 to a 4-5-1 or 3-4-3. So much of it now is just moving the ball as quick as possible, and so it's not just high possession as it used to be with some teams that can't handle that. And so this is what I think this really mirrors and brings a lot of identity. And I'm playing on professional difficulty. I mean, I think that's a testament enough that it's got a lot of good things here happening. And you can see just every little attack, every little interaction is just positive for me. And as somebody who, like I said, had somewhat written off PES 2019 because of how much it started to be like PES 2018 again, I've just completely fell back in love with this game, guys. And I really hope you guys try this out. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and what option you choose. If you can get it on the PC, get it. Go to EvoWeb and go visit the awesome guys there. I've been part of EvoWeb forever, and all the mods that are being done there are just absolutely fantastic. Like this one, I don't even know. This is a compilation of edits that Reaper just gave me because I told him, it's time to get into it. Oh, look at this chance. Another just incredible play there. But it's just, this is a really cool one for me. I know there's so many out there that you can do with the PC, but for me, it's about just kind of customization. I don't know if I'm going to play more on the PC or I'm going to play more on the PS4, but it's great to know that what I've chosen in terms of the lineup and what can be done is really going to help the game so much more, regardless. And again, if you guys want to use professional difficulty or another difficulty, I don't think it'll make a big difference. Just remember, you're going to get a lot of OP play on the top player and superstar. What I like about professional difficulty is there's a lot less back heels and, you know, unrealistic kind of passing sequences that are too perfect. And it's just one of those things with PES, you know, that we just have to kind of get used to. But I love just how the game's playing right now, and I really hope you guys get to check it out. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. And as always, take care and stay tuned.